There is a storm encoded into our DNA, not just a personal wound, but a collective inheritance, emotional volatility, longing, and the sense that life is happening to you, not through you, in its 55th evolutionary pattern of change. This is the shadow of victimization. It's not here to destroy us. It's here to wake us up. And this video is dedicated to unlocking the hidden architecture behind one's inner journey. Today's focus, the 55th evolutionary pattern of change, understanding its place in our evolution and recognizing the divine purpose behind our emotional storms. But let's first start with a parable called The Prisoner and the Rain. At this point, please close your eyes and visualize the story I am about to share. There was once a man who lived in a land where the sun never stopped shining. At first, he loved it. He called it paradise. But soon, the endless brightness became unbearable. Everything dried up. The crops withered, the rivers thinned, and the people grew desperate for rain. The man prayed to the sky every day, "Please give us rain." But none came. Eventually, he gave up. He told himself, "The gods are cruel. The world is broken. Nothing will ever change." So he built a shelter from mirrors, reflecting light endlessly back at himself. He called it safety, but it became a prison. He blamed the sun. He blamed others. He blamed life. One day, a child wandered into his mirrored world. "Why do you live in reflections?" he asked. He snapped, "Because the world outside is too much to bear." She tilted her head and said gently, "The rain has already come, but you've sealed yourself away from feeling it." The man paused. He reached outside the shelter, and for the first time in decades, he felt the cool kiss of water on his skin. The storm hadn't come from the sky. It had come from within when he stopped needing someone else to change. This 55th pattern of change holds one of the most profound shadow frequencies in the entire system, victimization. This isn't about blaming others, though that is part of it. It's about the deep emotional programming within our DNA, the inherited belief that we are helpless in the face of life. Whether it's through passive collapse, complaining and avoidance, or emotional projection, blaming and manipulation, the shadow tells us that our emotions are too much, too confusing, or caused by somebody else. This state is ancient. It's tied to a millennia of survival. The collective trauma of our species, war, famine, betrayal, abandonment, lives in this 55th shadow. The shadow complement to victimization is the shadow of dishonesty, and its fear that no one can be trusted. Its repressive state of being is excluded, and its reactive state of being is intrusive. So you can see how the fear that no one can be trusted, fueling the shadow of dishonesty, will fuel the blaming and complaining cycle of the shadow of victimization. Those interested in doing deeper personal alchemy and wish to have a means of accelerating an understanding of shadow work. Over the last 3 to 5 years, I have collected a wealth of information from various esoteric systems, namely the I Ching, human design, gene keys, the chakra systems, and astrology, as well as integrating them with the human genetic code. And in this chart, you will find the details of all the different shadows, all the different fears, the specific fears that fuel those specific shadows, all 64, all in relationship to each codon. And in this wheel, you will find 4 legends on each corner because they can't all fit on one corner or one side to make it a nice, evenly balanced square. So here is the statements from each zodiac sign, so you can see. And then we have the legend for each chakra. You'll notice that there are more than 7, and because there are more than 7, because it is including the spleen as a means to detect threats. So there's an intuitional center there. There's also a center of willpower called the thyroid, because when we are born, the thyroid is literally almost, if not as big as our heart. So we have to accommodate that. And on the other side of this, you will also find an understanding of the I Ching, hexagram system, the different trigrams, the relationship to the three-dimensional plane, the yin and the yang, and how each of the 6 lines are affiliated with different archetypes, thanks to the human design and or gene key system. And lastly, you will also find the human genetic sequence chart for all the amino acids associated with the human genetic code. But furthermore, you will also find in this chart all the different zodiacs, all 12, mixed with the human design gene key chart. Bear with me, my graphics card is not as fast as other people's on their computer, but you will see all the different fears, all the different shadows, and how they relate to each chakra in those colorful little dots. So you can see how it affects each energy center in the body and how each of them have their own repressive and reactive statements because there are 6 expressions in each challenge. Therefore, you will also find those 6 lines in there, all with their own repressive and reactive statements, their associated dilemmas from that specific shadow, which eventually will clear up, the gift from making the right choices regularly and practicing that gift with its own unique self-empowerment statement. So as you learn to vacate the trapped emotions such as sadness, fear, anger, shame, and guilt, and you reorient towards true self-alignment and honoring the intuition and inner authority that you possess, it will lead you towards the grace specific to that challenge. So if you would like to learn more about this and or you would like to download this file for your own personal means of translating your specific challenges in the human design system or in the gene key system, it is all there for you. All you have to go is to my website and download this PDF file. It's about 50 megabytes in size. I hope you enjoy this and hope you enjoy this brief glimpse into this massive PDF with all the details about all the specific challenges you'll have in your personal self-realization path. In order to find this PDF, a link will be found down below in the description of the YouTube video. When using that elaborate and vast chart of information, you can use the human design apps found in the App Store on Google Play so that you can choose whichever speaks to you most. And as you choose whichever human design app works best for you, you can then use that towards the chart. So you get your information and your numbers, and then after that, you can use the chart as reference. For example, I use the human design app, which helps me see the specific numbers that I need to see in the top right-hand corner. The red are the unconscious. These are the ones that were imprinted when the soul decided to remain anchored in the body about 90 days before you were born, between the second and the third trimester. The black numbers indicate the conscious, more aware challenges that you know you have in your current life, based on your survival challenges and your adversities currently going on in your life. You can also find that same application in the Human Design App Store for iPhone and or iOS. before you start using the chart that you have purchased online. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more information on this and you wanted a free consultation in understanding the current challenges in your life and how it relates to human design, feel free to reach out through the links below. You can also visit thegenekeys.com. There, you will also find a different kind of chart. It relates to the same challenges and same numerical sequences as found in the I Ching and human design. And there you'll be able to find a free profile link where you can then enter in your personal information in this field and then have a look at your specific gene key profiles and understand your genus sequence, your Venus sequence in opening up your heart, your love sequence, prosperity, and finding inner harmony. Thank you for watching this short introduction into the Wheel of Evolutionary Change and the chart that I've shown you in brief. And hopefully through those apps and through this PDF, you will find a way to decode the challenges you face and understand how to make the best choices for you and everyone you are meant to impact positively in your life. Now back to the shadow work and the evolutionary change in this video. Now back to the 55th evolutionary pattern of change and the gift of freedom that awaits you. But here's the shift. It's not personal. When we identify with our pain, we suffer. But when we observe it, feel it, and let it pass through, we begin to transmute it. Why does this shadow of victimization exist at all? Because it's the crucible of transformation. Emotion is the bridge between our biology and our spirit. It's not here to be suppressed or solved. It's here to be transcended. Every time we get lost in emotional chaos and don't numb it, don't run from it, we reclaim a piece of our power. The shadow exists to test our attitude, our willingness to take responsibility for our energy, not our circumstances. Pain isn't a punishment. It's part of initiation. From the pain of emotional storms comes the gift of freedom. The 55th gift is freedom, but not the kind the world sells you. It's not freedom from pain. It's the freedom in the face of it. This freedom means you no longer need to outsource your inner state. You no longer wait for permission to feel peace. And when this frequency matures, it becomes a grace, a rare state of divine sovereignty. The body softens, the heart opens, the need to control disappears, and one becomes a beacon, not because you're perfect, but because you're fully present. This 55th challenge is evolutionary. Richard Rudd, the founder of the Gene Keys, calls the 55th challenge of evolutionary change a prophecy. It marks a point in human history where we are beginning to transition from victim consciousness to collective awakening. It's not about fixing the world. It's about becoming so emotionally free that one no longer adds to its suffering. This is how we evolve from fear into grace. If this 55th pattern of evolutionary change lives in your chart, in some way it's because your soul chose to walk through emotional fire, not to be burned, but to illuminate. You don't have to transcend today. You don't have to be fearless, but you can begin by feeling the truth of what's alive inside of you, to stay curious, to stay open, and remember, freedom isn't far away. It's already within you, waiting to be remembered. If this video moved you, please like and subscribe for more on these evolutionary patterns of change and emotional alchemy. Down below, you'll find more details on this shadow. You'll also find contact information for a free consultation to help guide you on the first step of breaking out of the victimization loop. You'll also find a website link so you can learn more about me, what I do, how I do it, and why. You'll also find 3 support groups: divination systems, so you can learn all about the shadows, all about how to move through them, how to address the fears, transmute them, and discover the freedom that awaits you after alchemizing the processes. The next is emotional intelligence and mastery, where you learn why emotions are valuable in the human existence, how the shadow uses them to its benefit to keep you locked in survival mode, but how the true sense of self can catalyze and harness them for breakthroughs in your self-realization and manifestation potentials. The last one is one that you might really be into, and that is emotional trauma release group. This is the group that provides a safe space to allow your feelings and emotions to emerge, can be released, and you can embody new states of being where you develop more trust in your inner guidance system so that it can lead you towards safer exchanges with other people and more hope and freedom to integrate into humanity in a self-empowered way. God bless you on your journey. Namaste and good life to you.